Okay guys, morning on this wild Sunday. I'm going to be setting FTSE up for you probably later on today, also pound JPY for asset of the week. And we'll sort of continue to do that through the week. But in the meantime, David's asked if just clarify the journal a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll pull it up and I'll kind of briefly explain it to you. There is quite a number of videos out to do this. But I find it easier to just switch the camera on rather than type it out. Hope that makes sense. And then also you'll notice the Jedi levels dropped off the squad. There's a few guys kind of figured out how to do work around it to get loads of content for $1.99. Basically what they did was they signed up for $1.99, let it run for a month to the last day, then upgrade for 1 day, get their vouchers, and download all of the content. No good. Got no time for people like that. So thank you very much. You ended it. That'll never happen again. So there we go. As usual, words beg belief. But the small amount spoil it for everybody else. There you go. Right, let's jump into this. Okay. Let me just pull up one of my sheets. Would help have them switched on to start with. I'll just pull up the black ball just so that we can see it. Okay. When it comes to filling a journal in, they are quite important. And this particular journal is incredibly easy. Well, I find it easy. I've used variants of this for years, as I do with most things. Now, it's very simple. Start at the beginning and put in your starting balance for the year. Now, you might have gone April to April, January to January, whatever, but you just put your starting balance in there. This front page self-populates. You don't have to do anything with it apart from add in a few notes. Now it's the beginning of April. So this month, April, looking to use full madness. What does that mean? I've now got this to a point where I've earned the right to increase the trades. And I work on a formula of 10p for every £100 of liquid cash. Well, the liquid cash at this moment is 525, so that's 5 10 pences, 50 pence a position. Okay, but madness means I can break it up. So I'll go in one position at 10p, let it go backwards, put another position in, and build it up. So I'm now allowed to do that. So it's taken me from January to the beginning of April to get it to that point. Now, I've also earned the right to increase it by £200. So what I've essentially done is I added £200 to it. Let me show you. Now, as we go through, you'll see the little pip counts, put my rules in, etc., etc. And we did okay in January, grew by 31, I targeted 20. February, targeted 11, got 20. March, when it came to March, this is where it changed. Because I'd grown the account to 300 quid, because I had a phenomenal month of 55, I added in £200. Now, you just put it on the interest thing if you're adding into it, which is there. Now, when I decide to take some money out for wages, I'll just put a figure in there and it'll reduce the balance. So say I took £30, it reduced the balance. Okay. And then if I go to summary, it should tell me that I took 30 quid out. There it is. I took £30 out and it's telling me that I've now started withdrawing money. So it's quite simple. It's quite easy. So I haven't taken anything out. So we'll put that back to 0. Now the current month is April. Again, this kind of self-populates quite a bit. but there's certain parts of it you have to put in yourself. So this bit will all work itself. It'll tell you exactly your situation, starting balance for the month, what you've made. Now I'm looking for 50 quid this month. I'm up to 19. It'll tell you what the P&L percentage growth is. It'll also tell you what your win rates are. Now down here is where you change. Now this here will tell you exactly the biggest amount you can have as a position. So my total max bid is 53. Now I round it up, or round down in this case, it'll be 50p. So my bid size at the moment is 50p. So when that gets to 60, this will start increasing as well. I'll just change that to 60. And then what that does is it works out all the pips and everything. Now it also has an investment target. Now the investment is, if I put £10 into the market, I want a minimum of £1 back, 10% of it, minimum. Because I work on ROI as well as sort of any risk rewards. ROI is what I look at as well. So it'll tell me that. So I want 10% back. It'll tell me what my profit split is. Now, with that, depends. I like to go on a 50-50. So what that means is I've earned $9.51 for myself, and the other half will stay in the account for the business, because this is a business. If you take all the money out, you're not going to get anywhere. So you need to be able to grow your account as well. You put in some little rules here, just whatever you want. So my rules are 6 to 5 UK time, looking for one trade, and I'm looking across the pound and euro pairs, gold, FTSE and USJPY. They're the only products I look at for the bull. The products or the strategies I'm using are GoldenEye, River and the Push. It's predominantly GoldenEye, and as you can see, it's all gold. Because what I'm really looking for is the gold surge between 7 and 8 o'clock. Now, if I don't get it, I've got the rest of the day and I'll look at pound or I'll look at euro. That doesn't work. I'll look at the USD, see if that can give me an afternoon trade in the afternoon. If that doesn't work, at the end of the day, I'll look to see if any of them are set up as a river, and I'll put the river in, because I look at the river between 9 and 10 o'clock each night. Okay, baseline roughly around 10 pips is what I'm looking for. I'm off whack with that at the moment because the average is only 7.1. But there is a caveat to that, because I only need to do £2.54 a day, which is essentially 5 pips. So if I do 5 pips, I hit the day target, and that's all I'm bothered about, based on that size. Now up here, I can put in whatever target I want. So I might want to target, say, 15%. I think that's a bit high, so I'm keeping it realistic at 10. 10 is really high anyway, but on a small balance, it's quite doable. And when I see these stupid comments saying you'll do 5 or 6% a day, you can on a balance like this, but once you get into big figures, it becomes really hard. And why? Do a quick cut. In fact, we'll do it. Give us a second. I'll pull one up. Oop. Oh, I hate these pop-up ads. Right, let me just drop that back into play. Right, so here's an investing calculator. So when you see somebody saying, oh yeah, you can have a high frequency bot and it'll do 5 or 6% a day, 6% a day, scalping away, brilliant and all this bollocks. Let me show you the maths behind it, and it is bollocks. So I've got 500 quid in there, so it's pound. 500, doing 6% daily. You can now work 7 days a week, because obviously you've got Bitcoin and everything, and you can do that on your MT5 platforms, etc. So when you hear all of this, it can now be 7 days. Not going to add anything into it, and we're going to run it for 1 year. Calculate. There is no feckin' way you're going to do 5 to 6%. Look at the size of that number. You'd be the richest man on the planet in 1 year. It's ludicrous to think that. So keep it realistic, guys. Don't fall into the guff. you know, between 2 and 10% a month is doable. And it's quite well doable. And if you don't believe me, fine, crack on, and we'll have a conversation in 1 year when you're a billionaire. Just a thought. Anyway, so that's the target. What it does, it tells me roughly what I'm looking for. So I'll just round that up here. I just put in a straight figure and I rounded it up to the nearest 5, which would be 55. So I'm looking to do it in 1 month, but if I say I wanted to do it in 2, it changes the figures, but I'm only going month to month. So that's 1. This counts down how much I have to go and how far into the target I am, which is 34. And then this tells me what I need to do. Essentially what I need to do is that per day, 254. So that's quite easy. So if I do 254 every working day, I'll hit my target. And it's easy. Then we come down into this section. First part of it's easy. It's just your date. Put the current balance in here. The invest is not for the trade, it's for the day, but you work it out via a trade. So you put 5% investment in, so that tells you on the day you're going to invest 25, 35 of your balance. Now when you put your bid size in, or lot size, depending on how you're working, in spread betting they call it a bid. So you put your bid size in, or position size, I might change that. Whether it's 10 pence, 30 pence, 50 pence, whatever. It'll actually tell you at that moment in time, if you stuck with that single trade, the biggest stop you can have is 85. So you need to work out that your stop is somewhere inside that 85 range. And if it is, brilliant, you're good to go. And if it isn't, you have to reduce your position size. So let's just say my stop has to be 100 pips away. Well, put that in, drop my position size down. I'm now safe. I can have that stop. Okay. Key in whatever your P&L is when you finish, and then it'll tell you what's going on. Now, I was actually in a bit early on this trade. I know what it was. It tells me I was wrong. Tell me how much of my balance I got wiped. So I took 1.30, well, you might as well say 1.4, but it's 1.39% off the trade. So I lost the RR and I was down considerably, but I killed it before I got anywhere near my stop. And the invest target was on this one, 40 pence. Didn't get anywhere near it, so obviously that was bollocks. It was on gold. It was a fib trade going long. It surged backwards on itself, and I had to wait, get back in, and then corrected it. Okay, so sometimes killing a trade is as good as anything else. If you know it's wrong, just get out. You can always come back, and that's it. That's my journal in a nutshell, guys. So I hope that kind of helps. If you're stuck, again, just drop it in the Discord, David, and I'll keep picking them up as quickly as I can. And I'm here every day, remember. So keep trucking, kid. And as always, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.